This is the Herd Line News.
LeBron just finished his 18th NBA season.
That's
and
a lot.
Third with the Lakers. It is a long career. And that's not counting all the extra games that he's played throughout the playoffs,
Right.
which add up to about 3 more seasons. He was recently on the Smartless podcast and said that his plan is to retire a Laker, and he doesn't want to play for any other team.
Listen, I truly hope that I can finish my career with the Lakers, and how many years that is, if it's 4 or 5,
All
6,
right.
whatever.
That's an interesting podcast.
I hope I can continue to play the game. You know, I love being in
truly hope I
LA.
can
My
finish my
family
career
loves
with the
being in
Lakers,
LA.
however-
Being with a
Oh,
historical
there we go.
franchise like the Lakers is something like, it's like me, you know, being in Space Jam now. I never thought it'd be possible. You think about Kareem and Magic and Wilt and Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, Kobe, Shaq, all the whole list goes on.
Well, that wasn't the important part. The important part was that I truly hope I can finish my career with the Lakers, however many years that is. It's 4, 5, 6, whatever, 7. I hope I can continue to play the game. I love being in LA. My family loves being in LA. And being with a historical franchise like the Lakers is something. I don't know that this is really news because I did not feel like this was going to be a stopover for LeBron.
Yeah, his son's playing high school basketball in L.A.
And that's the other important part. Yes. Bronny is playing at Sierra Canyon. He is class of 2023. So, you know, LeBron said, like, he wants to try and play with his son. Now, that the earliest it would be is 2023 if he went straight out of high school, which is likely not the case. So it would be the 2024 or 2025 season. And we're starting to get a couple of years down the road for LeBron to still be playing. But, I mean, why not? Like, I think he would have to change his game a little bit, but guys are playing later and later into their careers. And as far as like leaving LA, like LA is not really a place you move to at like the ending of your career and then plan on moving again. This is like a place. It's a destination.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many opportunities for players here. Production, film, coaching. I mean, there's so many teams here. The weather's good. You know, I mean, most stars retire and they leave the city they play. Peyton Manning leaves Indianapolis.
Right.
I mean, Brady couldn't wait to get out of Boston, and that's a major city. But L.A., you can disappear as a pro athlete. So I've talked to pro athletes a lot about this. In Los Angeles, you put a baseball cap on and sunglasses, nobody cares. I've driven by a restaurant in my neighborhood and seen.
Well, because you see stars all the time.
And they're everywhere.
Someone might stop you and ask you for a picture.
Do you know, in my little pharmacy, there's a little pharmacy by my house, and it's so funny because, Joy, they take every square inch. I mean, they've got pills on top of pills. In L.A., real estate, everything's jammed.
You're going to maximize it.
Right. So I've seen Bob Saget, the comedian. I have seen former Kelly Rutherford, who was I don't know if it was 90210 or something like one of those big shows. At the golf club around the corner, James Worthy, and I'm told Don Cheadle is there, and nobody bothers them.
Have you met Don Cheadle yet?
No, you know how much I love Don Cheadle.
I know. That's why I said, you said no one bothers them. Are you going to bother Don Cheadle? You're going to say hello to Don Cheadle.
No, I would say I'm not going to bother him, but Don Cheadle is one of my favorite actors. And a lot of Hollywood's nonsense, but I love Don Cheadle.
You're definitely saying hello to Don Cheadle.
Yeah, no, I'd say hello. I would say, hi, Don Cheadle. And then I would leave. I wouldn't make a thing out of it.
You're not going to call him Don. So according to Woj, Suns assistant coach Willie Green has become the front runner to take over as the head coach of the Pelicans next season. He is a 12-year NBA vet, and he's been an assistant in Phoenix for the last 2 seasons, and he spent 3 seasons prior to that with Golden State. He actually has some prior experience in New Orleans. He played there for 1 season, 2010-2011, when the team was still the Hornets, and he played with Monty Williams, and that team was led by point guard Chris Paul. So he has a tie to the Pelicans to begin with. He was in the playoffs 7 of his 12 seasons, including that year in New Orleans, which is just one of the 7 playoff trips the team's made in franchise history.
Right.
So it'll be the 3rd coach for Zion as he enters his 3rd season with New Orleans.
Come on.
Look, I can't take people seriously when they complain about Zion, like, putting pressure on
Does anybody think Zion would, if he got drafted by, a top team in the NBA, would he be doing this? If the Spurs drafted Zion, do you think he'd be like, get me out of here? No. It's like Matt Stafford for 11 years put up with the Lions nonsense and finally said, can I? And we all say, why did Matt Stafford stay in Detroit 11 years? Because he was trapped. NBA guys, due to the CBA, aren't as trapped. And so if you go to a franchise that's kind of a mess, you want out. I totally get it.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that, no one is saying that Zion wants out. they're just saying you need to pick up the pace on getting this stable. Like, it's his third coach in 3 seasons. It's complete nonsense that anyone is defending the organization at this point. And listen, maybe Willie is the right hire. He certainly has the credentials and the experience to do it, and he's been with organizations that are winning, so he can bring that to the Pelicans. But it's going to take more than a head coach to get this thing rolling, but that's where you have to start. You can't keep running through personnel, especially in the formative years of a young player's career, and especially someone like Zion who has the expectations that he has on him. So I'm fully on the Zion Williamson camp. Like, get this thing together. So I know you don't love the Derby.
I will say this about the Derby. I thought the players were into it.
Yeah.
And so if you're into something, then passion is an easy sell for me. And the players were totally into it.
I love the Derby because I love home runs. And who doesn't? I also like watching the fans, and it is a big family night, to your point, for the players. Like, they can have their kids down there on the field. It's very intimate. The fans go crazy catching the home runs. I love the timing elements of it because it really gives it some urgency, and like you're trying to get the pitches in so you can catch up. And it was a great watch last night. And Ohtani was obviously in the first round, which was it actually ended up being like the best watch was the first round.
Right.
But Mets first baseman Pete Alonso won the home run derby, beating Orioles first baseman Trey Mancini to become the third ever back-to-back home run champion. And following the events, Alonso was not shy about complimenting himself.
I think I'm the best power hitter on the planet, and being able to showcase that and really put on a fun display for fans. I just think that it's truly a dream come true for me, and to be able to do it back to back. This is really special for me.
Oh, good for him.
Really, really cool.
Mets actually have some players. There's one team in New York that's not underachieving. It's the Mets. They've got some great, between DeGrom and him, they got some good players.
Well, I mean, look, he's back-to-back home run derby champion. He can say that about himself. He had 74 home runs. I also think it gets a little, like, we're a little desensitized. I know it's not like MLB level pitching that they're grooving them all to them as they should be, but it's still hard to smack a ball that far 74 times.
Does he look a little bit, show this again, he looks a little like Bradley Cooper. Am I nuts on that?
I need a closer.
I'm sorry. In the first picture, he's got a little Bradley Cooper look. By the way, he is. There's a little Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper with power. And a little bigger nose.
The MLB All-Star Game is tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox.
Good stuff, Joe.